Okay, good morning students. Yesterday we were solving one problem and in between the video was incomplete. So I am just completing that. Already have put in the group, but just see. The same problem I am continuing. Finding the position of center of mass for a 3-particle system. So first we found out position of center of mass, that is x coordinate. X coordinate is given by m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3, and we calculated 5 by 18 was the answer. 0.27 meter is the position. So x centimeter is equal to 0.27. Similarly, y centimeter, y of center of mass, y coordinate of center of mass. Y coordinate of center of mass is m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. So both y1, see, y1 and y2 are 0. y1 and y2, they are 0, 0. Therefore, first two, they will become 0. So y3 is 0.25 root 3. So 200 into 0.25 root 3. So when you calculate, it comes out to be root 3 by 9. Root 3 by 9 becomes 1 by 3 root 3. After rationalizing, what do you get? Yes, 1 by 3 root 3. So 0.33 divided by 1.71. If you calculate, it is coming around about 0.1, right? 0.1 something. So if you locate it on this triangle made by 3 particles, so it will be somewhere here. X coordinate is 0.27. So it will be here 0.27, and y coordinate is 0.1. So 0.1. So this becomes the position of center of mass. This reveals that center of mass will not be exactly at the center if the particles are of different masses. If the particles are of same mass, then exactly the position of center of mass will be at its centroid. Okay. Now let us solve next problem, that is consisting of 4 particles. System of 4 particles. 4 particles of mass 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg and 4 kg are placed at the 4 vertices A, B, C, D respectively of side 1 meter. You can take this one as A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D is the square. Along these vertices, these masses are being kept 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg and 4 kg. And the distance between the length of the side of this square is 1 meter. 1 meter. Find the position of center of mass. Again, same procedure. We have to go by same procedure. So first find out the coordinates. Coordinates of these particles. Let us choose M1 to be at origin. So if you take M1 to be at origin, then the coordinates become 0, 0, and M2 will be exactly at 1 meter, 0, because y coordinate will be 0, and M3 will be at again 1 meter, and y coordinate will be 1 meter, and M4 will be again x coordinate is 0, and y coordinate will be 1. So this is how we get the coordinates. So I will write first the coordinates. x1, y1, I have taken origin 0, 0. x2, y2, 1, 0. First we have to identify the coordinates. x3, y3. x3, y3 correspond to 1, 1. Third particle. X coordinate also 1, y coordinate also 1, and x4, y4. x4, y4 corresponds to 0, 1, where 0 is x coordinate and 1 is y coordinate. Now use the equation for position of center of mass. X coordinate of position of center of mass. X coordinate of position of center of mass equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4, because there are 4 particles divided by sum of the masses. M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4. So just substitute the values. M1 x1, look at this. M1 is 100. These masses are 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg and 4 kg respectively. So M1 is 1 kg, 1 kg into 0. So 1 into 0, so that becomes 0 plus M2 into x2. M2 is 2 kg, 2 kg into x2 is 1. You can refer here, x2 is 1 plus M3 is 3 kg, 3 kg into x3 is 1 plus M4 is here 4 kg and x4 is 0. So whole divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, sum of the 4 masses. Then it becomes 0 plus 0. These are the two zeros. 2 plus 2 into 1, 2, 3 into 1, 3. 2 plus 3 divided by 4 plus 1, 5, 7, 3. So it becomes 10. So 5 by 10. So 5 by 10 means 0.5 meter. So x coordinate corresponds to 0.5 meter. X coordinate of center of mass. Similarly, let us find out y coordinate of center of mass. M1 y2, same question. M2 y2, M3 y3 plus M4 y4 whole divided by M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4. Right? Now, when you substitute this, look here, M1 y1, 1 kg into 0, again this 1 into 0, same, plus 2 into y coordinate is again 0, 2 into, you can refer here also, 2 into y coordinate is again 0, plus 3 kg, M3 is 3, 3 into y3 is 1, plus 4 into y4 is again 1, whole divided by, already we got 10. So thus y coordinate of center of mass becomes 0 plus 0, 3 plus 4, 7. 7 divided by 10. 7 by 10 implies 0.7 meter. So you can locate using the diagram. So x coordinate of center of mass is 0.5. Yes, x coordinate is 0.5. So y coordinate is 0.7. So this is 1 meter. So if you divide this is 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Somewhere you will get. So if you join this is going to be the position of center of mass. Position of center of mass 0.5, 0.7. So if you look at the distribution of masses, 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg. So from this problem we understand that center of mass is close to the particles having higher masses, having larger masses. So the significance of this center of mass you will understand when we study the motion of center of mass or rotation motion of the body. When the body undergoes rotation motion, if it is a rigid body, then the body undergoes about an axis passing through the center of mass. Right? That's what we are going to study later on. So these are the two problems. Let us solve one more problem, interesting problem. Let us see this interesting problem. There is an L-shaped lamina. Lamina means what? First let us understand what is the meaning of lamina. Lamina means a thin sheet. Thin sheet of metal is called as lamina, or thin sheet of plastic is also called as lamina. To give you example, you are all having iCards. It is a lamina, and we use the term lamination. Lamination is covering it with a thin layer thin layer. So I card, whatever the ATM cards you have, they are all examples of lamina. The desk surface is layered with a sheet of metal. If it is taken out, it is called as lamina of metal. So there is an L-shaped metallic lamina, a thin sheet in which the mass is uniformly distributed. That is the meaning of lamina. It is L-shaped now. You can see this is L-shaped lamina. Find the center of mass of this uniform L-shaped lamina. A thin flat plate, L-shaped thin flat metallic plate with dimensions as shown in the figure. The mass of lamina is 3 kg. The entire mass of this, total mass of this lamina is 3 kg. You are asked to find out the center of mass. Here, the mass is uniformly distributed throughout the lamina. But this is not a square lamina, it is a L-shaped lamina. One square is missing. If that square would be there, if it would be perfectly square lamina, then the geometrical center of that lamina would be the center of mass. If it is a square or if it is a rectangle, then the geometrical center, when you draw the geometrical center, that itself gives us the position of center of mass. But it is not a square, so it is a L shape. Then how to find out the position of center of mass? Let us consider the C1, center of mass of the first square. We will call this part as the first square, and we will call the second one as second square, and the upper one as third square. We will recognize them as 3 squares. Center of mass of the first square is exactly at the geometrical center. If you join the diagonals, the point of concurrence of the diagonals of the square gives us the geometrical center of the square. So that gives us C1. And again, in the same manner, if you join the diagonals, the point of coincidence of those diagonals gives us the center of mass C2. In the same way, if you join the diagonals and the point of coincidence of these diagonals of the square gives us the geometrical center of the third square. So these are the positions of the center of mass of the first square C1, center of mass of the second square C2, and center of mass of the third square C3. Then if you join this, I am just giving you a hint. If you join this, you will get an idea where will be the position of center of mass. Center of mass will be the geometrical center of this triangle, right angle triangle. Okay, that is without calculation one can assume geometrical center of this, which we can assume here. But let us see how one can find out by the knowledge. We will assume the entire mass of this first square to be concentrated at C1. So we will write the coordinate of C1. What is the coordinate of C1? Coordinate of C1 is, look at this, if this is a 2 meter side, if the length of the lamina is 2 meter and this is also 2 meter, exactly half we get 1 meter, right? Then the coordinates of this will be definitely 0.5, 0.5. That is 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Similarly, what are the coordinates of C2? Coordinates of C2 become, look here, x coordinate will be 1 plus half. 1 plus half becomes 3 by 2. And y coordinate will be half only. Half. Similarly, C3. What are the coordinates of C3? C3. Coordinates of C3 as x coordinate is 1 by 2, x coordinate is 1 by 2, and y coordinate is, you see, 1 plus half. This is 1, this is 1 plus half, that is 3 by 2, and this is 1 by 2, this is 3 by 2. So like this we can find out the coordinates. So the x coordinate is half and y coordinate is 3 by 2. So C1, C2, C3, where C1, C2 and C3 are the center of mass of the first, second and third squares respectively. It means the entire first square represents the mass of this first square at C1. The mass of this entire second square is at C2. The mass of this entire third square is at C3. Now we can find out the center of mass of this C1, C2, C3. Now, x coordinate of center of mass. We are finding out position of center of mass of L-shaped, given L-shaped lamina. XCM is equal to, we will consider this as again system of three particles C1, C2, C3. System of three particles C1, C2, C3. So C1 is how much? 1 kg, because the total mass of this lamina is 3 kg. So each square must be of 1 kg. So each square C1 will be of 1 kg, C2 mass will be of 1 kg, C3 mass will also be of 1 kg. So that if we add 1 plus 1 plus 1, we will get 3 kg. Uniformly distributed sheet of metal, it is called as lamina. So C1, that is 1 into x1. What is x1? Half, that is 0.5, plus C2 is again 1 kg. 1 kg into, what is x2? Look at this. x2 is 3 by 2. x2 is 3 by 2. Plus C3 is also of same 1 kg. 1 kg into x3. What is x3 from here? x3 is again 1 by 2. x3 is 1 by 2. Whole divided by sum of the masses. 1 plus 1. So again we have used the same equation. What is that equation? C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus C3 x3 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. That's it. Where C1, C2, C3 represent center of mass of each square, right? Now, if you simplify this, it comes out to be 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2 whole divided by 3. So 3 by 2 plus 1, it becomes 3 by 2 plus 1, 5 by 2. So it becomes 5 by 2 divided by 3. So it becomes 5 by 6 meter. So XCM, that is x coordinate of center of mass, becomes 5 by 6 meter. So in terms of decimals, it becomes 6 4s are 24, 6 8s are 48. 6 8s are 48. Then 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 21. So nearly 0.83 you can say. 0.83. 6 3s are yes. 6 2s are 12. 6 3s are 18. 0.83. Right. Similarly, y center of mass. Y coordinate of center of mass. Again, masses are same. 1 kg. C1 1 kg into y1. What is y1 here? y1 is also same 1 by 2. y1 is also 1 by 2. 1 by 2 plus 1 kg into y2. y2 here is, you see, y2 is also 1 by 2 plus 1 into y3. Look at this. y3 is 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2. So 3 by 2. So it is 3 by 2. 1 into 3 by 2 whole divided by 1 plus 1 plus 1, it becomes 3. So if you add this, again you will get 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, 1 into 1 by 2, 1 into 1 by 2, so this is multiplication, right? So 1 into 3 by 2, so if you add this, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1, 1 plus 3 by 2, again same answer, divided by 3. So 5 by 2, that is you are going to get 5 by 6 meter, that is 0.83 meter. 0.83 meter. So 0.83 meter from the diagram, this is 1 and this is 1. So slightly less than 0.1. So 0.8, if you take this one as 0.8, somewhere here you are going to get the center of mass. Center of mass of the entire lamina, that is 0.83. So this is how we find the center of mass of a given lamina. That becomes the geometrical center. So when it is rotated, it rotates about the fixed axis passing through this center of mass. And when it is set into motion, like rotational motion or a kind of translational plus rotational motion, then it will rotate about the center of mass. Okay. Now let us solve one more problem, so that you will be very much familiar with the center of mass. To give you one example, you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. Take one card sheet and cut that card sheet into a rectangle. Find the center of mass of that rectangle. Card sheet, I think you can understand, a thick card sheet, right? And find the center of mass. Geometrically, if you cut it into a rectangle, it will be having two pairs of sides, alright, two pairs of sides perpendicular to each other. So if you join the diagonals, the point of coincidence of the diagonals gives you center of mass. It is that point at which you can pivot it with the help of a sharp end. You can pivot it with the help of a sharp end. Entire rectangular card can be pivoted at the geometrical center with the help of a sharp end, right? Similarly, you can try for a triangle. For a triangle, if it is a equilateral triangle, exactly it will be at the centroid. Then what about if it is any other shape? Then also it will be exactly at the centroid. You have to draw the medians. If it is a triangle of any other shape, you can try this, do an activity. Take a triangle of any shape and join the medians. Join the medians from the vertices. The point of coincidence of the medians, I think, gives you centroid. It gives you centroid. So exactly at that centroid, you can balance that triangular lamina. So if it is a regularly shaped lamina, if it is a triangular, rectangular or a square, the geometrical center gives us the position of center of mass. Now let us find out one more interesting problem, center of mass. Okay, look at this very interesting problem. In the HCl molecule, the separation between the nuclei of two atoms is about 1.27 degree angstrom. You know what is 1 angstrom? 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So that is the distance between H plus and Cl minus. That is distance between hydrogen atom and hydrogen nucleus and chlorine nucleus. Find the approximate location of center of mass of the molecule. Given that chlorine atom is about 35.5 times as massive as hydrogen atom. You know, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5, right? So you are asked to find out the location of center of mass. Consider this is the position of hydrogen atom and this is position of chlorine atom, and and this is the line joining these two masses, right? So naturally the center of mass must be lying on the line joining the two atoms, because H and Cl together it makes a molecule. It acts as a molecule. So when the molecule rotates as a rigid rotator, you are going to study in the thermodynamics specific heats of diatomic molecule, triatomic molecule and so on. So this is taken as a rigid rotator. How does it rotate? It rotates about its center of mass. What is the position of center of mass? That's what we are going to find out. So if mass of hydrogen is m, then mass of chlorine is 35.5 m. This is given, and the distance between H atom and Cl atom, this is given 1.27 angstrom. 1.27 angstrom. So what is the position of center of mass? So for this simple thing that we need to do is assume that hydrogen is at origin. Then the problem becomes simple. Let us take the hydrogen, position of hydrogen atom at origin. Suppose this is the coordinate system and this is x-axis. So if this is a 0, 0, coordinates of hydrogen is 0, 0, then coordinates of chlorine becomes 1.270 in terms of angstrom. Now we can find out the center of mass. Center of mass, how do you find out? Same, m1x1 plus m2x2 divided by m1 plus m2 equal to the position of center of mass. Here it is a system of two particles. It is an example of system of two particles. One is hydrogen atom, another one is chlorine atom. So choose the position of H atom at origin, so that its coordinates x1 y1 become 0, so that x1 y1 coordinate become 0. And of course there is no question of y1 at all, because here we have taken the both particles along x-axis. Only question of x1, x2, that's it. Then what is position of x2? x2 is equal to x2 y2 also. x2 y2, if you want, you can write 0, 0. x2 y2 becomes 1.27. So now we write equation for position of center of mass. Equation for position of center of mass for a system of two particles, or a system of two particles. m1x1 plus m2x2 divided by m1 plus x2, m1 plus m2, m1x1 plus m2x2 divided by m1 plus m2 is equal to position of center of mass. Yes, position of center of mass. Now it becomes very simple now, because we have chosen mass of hydrogen to be, that is hydrogen atom to be at origin. So substitute the value of x1 as 0 and x2 as 1.27 divided by m1 plus m2. Therefore m1 is m into 0, it becomes 0, plus m2 is 35.5 into x2. What is value of x2? 1.27 whole divided by m1 plus m2, m plus 35.5 m. So it becomes 36.5 m. And here also there is m. That's equal to position of center of mass. Therefore, position of center of mass along the x-axis becomes 35.5. Here mm cancels. You can see here this is 0. So 35.5. Okay, 35.5 into 1.27 whole divided by 35.5 plus 1, 36.5. So this is how we are going to get the result. So if you calculate this, it comes out to be 1.24 angstrom because the distance is in terms of angstrom. So somewhere you are going to get the position of center of mass here. Position of center of mass. So that is the position of center of mass from hydrogen atom, 1.24 angstrom. And naturally from here, from chlorine, this is from H atom, because H atom is at origin. So from chlorine, Cl atom, it is at 1.27 minus 1.24. So it comes out to be 0.03 angstrom. So this is how we can find out the position of center of mass. So when it gains kinetic energy, the kinetic energy will be having a translational motion. The kinetic energy may be due to rotational motion. Kinetic energy may be due to translational motion. Kinetic energy may be due to rotational motion. Kinetic energy may be also due to vibrational motion. This is what we are going to study in thermodynamics. But when it rotates about the center of mass. Right? This is the significance of center of mass. Please solve more and more problems of center of mass. Then the things will be clear and it will be helpful in the further studies. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.